So Kobe's latest milestone, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Stephen A., let's go to you first.
I think it's a good thing. First of all, I think it's a good thing because we also know that he's made his share of big-time shots. He's one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history, not to mention the fact that he's a five-time champion. He's a former scoring champion. He's a former league MVP. We all know how surreal and big-time he has been throughout his illustrious career. And so when you look at a situation like this where he's missed so many shots, far more often than not, like he said, he's had to take shots with the shot clock winding down to try and bail the team out. Sometimes you win, most times you lose in that situation. But there's something to be said for a willingness to take that shot, because you got a lot of people that want to act like they want to be big time up until that moment arrives when they're called upon to step up to the plate and really, really put it on their shoulders to be the hero or the GOAT. And Kobe Bryant is somebody that has never, ever had a problem with that. I was there his rookie year, literally in the city of Utah, Skip, at the then called Delta Center, where he shot those air balls against the Utah Jazz in the playoffs and ultimately lost the game when Del Harris inexcusably called Kobe Bryant's number after messing with his playing time, messing with him psychologically. And I like Del Harris, former head coach in the NBA. I like him a lot. But what he did to Kobe Bryant that rookie year, everybody knew was wrong, because he sat up there, and even though he didn't think Kobe Bryant was ready and thought that Kobe Bryant's bravado was a little bit too extreme and all of this other nonsense, he finally threw Kobe to the wolves before Kobe was ready to handle it. And Kobe shot air balls against Utah. But even back then, he was willing to try and take things into his own hands and put it on his shoulders. And there's something to be said for that level of courage that a basketball player has, because everybody doesn't have it. They talk a good game, but everybody doesn't want to put it on their shoulders. He was willing to do that straight out of high school. So he's always been courageous. And that's why I don't think this is a bad thing.
I'm glad you brought up that end of his rookie year fiasco for him, what could have been something that wrecked some kids' psyches for the rest of their career. Did that bother him? Not a bit. That's why I have so much respect for a Kobe Bryant that, before I launch into the way I'm going to answer this question, I want to make it clear. I have him in my top 10 all time. I still have him right now, Stephen A., as my number 10 in my top 10 of all-time ranked players in the NBA. And I'm going to go with you on it's a good thing. I don't think it's a great thing that he now has the most misses ever, but it is a good thing because of this man's psyche. For all the top 10 of most missed shots ever in the NBA, it's almost a badge of honor because you were that good to miss that many shots and last that long in the league. And I respect the heck out of Kobe Bryant because this does not bother him in the least. And I liked his answer last night. He just scoffed at all this. He doesn't think about it. He loved the Michael Jordan commercial in which Michael Jordan, you bring it up all the time about Michael Jordan said, I've missed so many shots, I've missed all these shots, and I'll take them again and I'll make them again. They're built the same way. I don't think Kobe is as great as Michael, but he's the greatest thing we've seen since Michael. Now, for the truth of this, you know I've said this to you before. Kobe Bryant, to me, is the most selfish player in the history of this league, and I mean that in a positive way. He has always had the greenest light, to me, of any player who ever played because he takes so many shots from distance. His average attempt in his career is now 14 feet. We don't have the stats to go back far enough for this, but I'm going to assume, Stephen A., that's the longest average shot attempt by any great player who's ever played this game. Kobe takes a lot of outside shots. He takes them with the greenest of lights, with no conscience whatsoever, and I respect the heck out of that. But even if you compare Kobe and Michael's career, remember, the most threes that Kobe's ever attempted in a year was 518. The most Michael ever attempted was 297. So Kobe takes a lot more threes than Michael took in his average year to year. Kobe's going to jack it up. Kobe jacked it up last night, and we're going to talk about this a little later in the show. I thought Kobe was great down the stretch last night. He made 2 big threes, but he was only 3 for 10 from 3 last night. So can I call him the greatest gunner ever and make that a positive thing? Because that's what Kobe Bryant is. He shoots it from distances that nobody has ever shot it from. And if he had not gone on to win rings without Shaq, I'd have an issue with it. But because he did win them virtually, quote unquote, by himself, I give it up to Kobe Bryant.